combat sports are shaped by the gladiators.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
This fight came up. Bare knuckle, no rules.
Icons who impacted the culture.
One of them knocked a guy out in the first round, and a guy came up to me and said, "Hey man, you want to fight in the UFC?"
Knockout artists who thrill us with highlight hits.
Right out of the blue, one punch, the fight's all over.
Fighters from every corner of the world, trained in every discipline imaginable. From the art of 8 limbs to the sweet science.
Boom! Holy
Yeah, look at that.
Oh my God!
He had a seizure.
Oh my.
These fighters propelled combat to new limits.
You know what wrestling is?
I could rest my balls on your forehead.
Yeah, I know.
Bigger than life personalities.
That hurts me just looking at it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tyson, heavyweight champ of the world.
Sharp right uppercut to the body by Tyson.
Champions who reigned atop their sports.
Tubbs is hurt. Tubbs is hurt badly.
Tearing down any who dare stand before them. Goated fighters.
One destructive blow changed the course of heavyweight history.
Unbeaten legends.
New heavyweight champion of the world.
Those who go out on their shields.
Hurns is down! Hurns is down in the 3rd round, and on his back, he can't continue. It's Hagler stopping him in the 3rd round. It didn't go very far.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
In this video, we'll cover some of the all-timers who thrilled us over the years. We'll cover some of the underdogs who captured our imaginations.
The Butterbean! There he is, the Butterbean!
And we'll cover some of the entertainers who left our jaws on the floor.
All the press is there, and Joe, you're the champion of the world. Not yet. Not till I beat that man. He didn't even have to say his name.
That man was Max Schmeling. Joe refused to call himself a champion until he avenged his only defeat.
Joe Louis defends his World Heavyweight Championship against former title holder Max Schmeling, the only man who has ever defeated the champion.
Louis secluded himself into training. He knew, as did everyone else, that this fight was the most important of his life. Viewed as a battle of nations, politics, ideas. Boxing is war individualized. Pitting man against man.
The heavyweight championship, its meaning was transcending pure supremacy in the ring. Its meaning was really that of a world beater.
German troops marched into Austria for what the Germans called the reunification of the two countries.
Everybody recognized what Schmeling represented.
The stage is set for their historic rematch.
The match had become more than sport. War was coming.
On the verge of World War II, with Hitler, a madman, trying to create a master race, take over the world. I mean, the whole world's watching. You talk about pressure. That's why Louis is the greatest.
Yankee Stadium, New York City.
If he didn't win this world title fight against Max Schmeling, he was ruined.
And it's in Yankee Stadium outdoors. I mean, you talk about a setting, a stage.
The eyes of the world would watch the clash. The gate was the biggest ever for a boxing match.
The whole freaking world's watching. The President of the United States calls up Lewis and says, you got to witness for the good guys. I mean, you talk about pressure.
A black fighter carried the hopes of the free world.
The famous Detroit World Bomber, world's heavyweight champion, Joe Louis.
The largest audience in the history for a single radio broadcast tuned in.
U.S. against Germany, black guy against a white guy. You couldn't draw more divisive lines at those times.
It was a watershed moment that transcended sport.
That he's got to save basically the United States and the world from scourge and disease of the Nazi party.
For one night, Joe Louis had united the free world under a single cause.
A crushing right explodes off Schmelling's jaw. Joe steps back.
And Schmeller was in fear right from the beginning. He realized that this is something else, a different cut of cat.
How does he respond to it? He destroys him. He annihilates him. He knocks him out in one round.
A left hook to the jaw, and Schmeling is down. The count is
That to me is one of the best stories of a heavyweight fight.
Schmeling fell victim to the Brown Bombers blitzkrieg.
I think that's the greatest single event in the history of the world.
It doesn't look like Schmelling's going to make it. It's all over. Joe Louis electrifies the boxing world with his magnificent first-round devastating knockout over
and still champion, Joe Louis.
Louis's victory electrified the country.
And Joe Louis and Benny Leonard, they were fighters. They let people know they had value, that their race had value, their people had value. They had value. They pulled people out of those places.
It was the most uniting force I've ever seen in my life.
He began his historic run of 25 straight title defenses, 22 by way of knockout.
He was a great American success story, a street kid who fought his way out of poverty to astounding fame and fortune.
An ominous sense of dread.
Fear was a lot of Tyson's weaponry. The fighters came in almost frozen.
He comes naked with his shoes on. He's a gladiator. He signifies what he's about.
Mike Tyson's opponents come in with great psychological disadvantage.
Guys come into the ring and they are scared.
Black shoes, no socks, black trunks. As soon as you stepped in the ring, the other guy across the ring, what were you thinking? I mean, because he was thinking, oh, that's my ass.
Tyson has the anticipation of a Doberman who's happened upon 210 pounds of unguarded meat.
I dare them even to challenge me in these fighters, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? With their primitive boxing skills, you know what I mean? They're as good as dead.
It was a persona he was trained to adopt.
Wherever I've been, okay, what country, I've never had experience being captivating and spending that 7 years with Custody Amado.
Mike Tyson. Iron Mike.
People around the world do want to see this American phenomenon.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Hi, I'm Mike Tyson, heavyweight champ of the world.
I won titles, I had everything in the world, but I still had that darkness in me.
Pet tigers, bro.
He wrestled with them. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
Because at this particular point I was throwing, what can I say, hydrogen bombs. And at any moment, man, every punch was with murderous intention.
I believe he will be the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. And if he remains dedicated, interested, and without any distractions, I believe that eventually he will go down in history as the greatest heavyweight champion.
Clinical, brutal, perfect.
You got knocked the fuck out.
It did not last 20 seconds.
His fastest knockout, which came against Marvis Frazier in 1986.
Right now, there is Jim Jacobs, yes.
Manager of Mike Tyson talking to him.
He'll face Trevor Berbick, the WBC title holder, probably sometime this fall. And if Tyson should beat Berbick,
he would become the youngest man in history ever to win the heavyweight championship.
Berber was the last person to fight Ali, and he hurt Ali very bad. When you fought him, was there any revenge?
100%, yes, no doubt about it. I said, oh, I can't wait till I get him. Him and Larry Holmes.
The fight brought out all the A-listers. And Tony Danza.
I laugh at Tony Danza.
I'm super creepy, Rob Lowe. In the morning, I'm making waffles.
I am the greatest.
So now the moment of truth is not far off. This will be the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. He could go into the record books tonight if he can capture the title from the reigning champ, Trevor Berbick. This is what Mike Tyson has trained his whole life for. This is what Customato and Jimmy Jacobs trained this man for.
I believe he will be the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. And if he remains dedicated, interested, and without any distractions, I believe that eventually he will go down in history as the greatest heavyweight champion ever.
Coach is always talking about the situation. He was saying, you know, if you really took a deep interest in it, you will be champ of the world. And he said, no problem, you'll be champ.
There is electricity in the crowd. I've got goosebumps. On the line, the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. With a right, another left hook that just breaks.
It would have happened to any fighter, because at this particular point I was throwing, what can I say, hydrogen bombs. Every punch was with murderous intention.
You talk about being on the stage on a moment and capturing that moment.
Position, not using the jab of the bell ends. Round one, a good round one for Mike Tyson.
7 coming in.
This is round two. The WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. Trevor Berbick and Mike Tyson.
That was the coming out. That was the star going on Broadway and saying, I am a star. Look at me.
And he's down. He'll have to take the standing 8 count as he steps right up the count to 4. And
he absolutely destroyed him. He knocked him all over the ring. It was over in 2 rounds, and at that time you thought, this guy is going to be the champion for a decade or more.
Tyson seized the title in spectacular fashion.
He goes down. He should be able to get up from this. His legs may be shut. They are. As Trevor Berbick falls back into the rope.
Mike is a boy prodigy. He's 20 years old. He is quite an incredible force in the heavyweight division, but he's just a boy.
It's all over. We've got a brand new heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson.
In a devastating second-round knockout, Mike Tyson, age 20, became the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history. His managers, cornermen, and friends ran to congratulate him. Tyson kissed Jim Jacobs.
Jimmy Jacobs in there. Bill Caton also worked with him.
At 20, he was the youngest heavyweight champion in history.
If it wasn't for Cuss, this would never happen. The idea I'm the youngest champ in the world. The idea that it'll live forever. The record, I think, will never be broken. And it's what I can say. He's probably up there right now saying, you did a lot of mistakes. You did a lot of mistakes.
Considered by many to be the greatest practitioner of Muay Thai in the sport's history.
The discipline may change from the ring to the cage to the squared circle, but the thrill of the fight remains.
A fluidity that keeps foes off balance as he seamlessly moves between styles. For 2 decades, he's reigned atop the sport, dazzling spectators and inspiring the next generation of great warriors. Saenchai, King Star, GOAT of Muay Thai.
Marvin Hagler is seek and destroy. In reality, he was so much more.
Lord Almighty!
Down goes Willie the Worm Monroe. That's it. The bout is stopped, and I'm glad Tommy Reed jumped in. Oh, Lord, did he unload?
Man with dynamite in their fist. Couple of rights by Hagler getting in as he comes out aggressively now, and then comes up with the left, and he goes down. Eugene Cyclone Hart goes down from the left hand by Marvin Hagler. He'll take the 8 count.
The great, marvelous Marvin Hagler with tremendous punching power.
So as a man, he was a decent man. But as a fighter, what he said was he used to wrestle with what he described as his monster. And he said, and that was the character that used to come out when he was fighting.
His perseverance through the corrupt world of boxing was one of his strongest attributes.
Is it true that Joe Frazier once said something to you a long time ago that you had 3 strikes against you?
3 strikes.
Can you tell me about them?
One was that I was black, the second one that I was a southpaw, and the third one that I was good.
46 fights, and still no title shot.
In the bad old days of boxing, it was not uncommon for worthy challengers to be overlooked, ignored, and bypassed.
What Hagler is most remembered for is his bout with Thomas Hearns, known as The War.
The long-awaited showdown was set.
Keep that belt by your bed, because it'll be the last time you see it.
Can't hear you.
Pull a little baseball cap on. War across the top. You knew, and I think Thomas Hearns knew, that it was about war with Hagler.
Great fights. I mean, some of the greatest fights of all time, if not the greatest. Some people still argue the Hearns fight.
By the mid-1980s, marvelous Marvin Hagler had taken on all comers. After 11 title defenses over 5 years, he stood alone.
It was no secret each man had little love for the other. This fight was everything for both of their legacies. 2 warriors of historic renown.
Well, it's been voted certainly the greatest round ever, that first round.
In 30 years of boxing on HBO.
A fight unlike any other.
So is Hagler coming out like a bullet. Good left by Hagler.
There's blood all over Marvin Hagler's face. Can't tell where it's coming from.
They're going to war. These are 2 of the best middleweights ever, and they're standing in front of each other going.
Gets hurt. Great first round. Incredible.
Perhaps one of the best in middleweight history.
I mean, there's a famous quote that, again, Goody Petronelli told us. He said that when he was in the corner, Hagler said to him, whatever happens tonight, don't stop this fight. I'm prepared to die in the ring.
Another right hand. Hearns turns his back, takes another right. Hearns in deep trouble again. Hearns is down in the 3rd round and on his back.
This historic bout defined the legacies of both Hagler and Hearns.
He can't continue. It's Hagler stopping him in the 3rd round. It didn't go very far, but it was a beauty.
Arguably the most action-packed 3 rounds of boxing in history. Dubbed by boxing fans as The War.
You know, he was so disciplined. That was the thing that I always got out of watching him. Wasn't that he was so wild. He was so mentally strong. He had an iron chin. And his discipline was impeccable.
Hagler had one more quick defense before stepping away for over a year.
Marvin Hagler is the undisputed middleweight champion of the world.
You can't write the story of MMA without the notorious Conor McGregor.
Yeah, because the Irish thing is to get into a trade straight away. I was no different. As soon as I finished school, I was always getting pestered. What are you doing with your life? You're doing this, doing that.
I mean, we're going to be a plumber, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, I heard you were working 12-hour days, like driving 2 hours one way.
Yeah. You know, I was on them building sites cold and damp, and I was like, that was not me.
Conor chose to commit to a future in fighting, one that his parents scoffed at. From the start, Conor flashed the personality that would endear him to millions of fans around the world.
As far as my family were concerned, as far as my mother and father were concerned, I left what was a safety net of a trade as a plumber to pursue a career in fighting. As far as they were concerned, I was just getting into a cage and fighting with some other guy. They didn't know nothing about it. No one did, really. But I knew, you know what I mean? I knew.
I just saw the other day, I think you were fifth most recognized athlete on earth.
They must have miscounted. I'd say I'm number 1 in athletes, personally.
Like most great fighters, Conor was forged from struggle.
What he lacked in skill and experience, he made up for in tenacity and ferociousness.
Mixed martial arts is basically the purest form of unarmed combat known to man. It involves all disciplines, all combat disciplines: boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, taekwondo, karate, jiu-jitsu. It's just a pure combat.
What got me to where I am is an insane work ethic.
A lot of people think they can do what I do until it's time to do what I do.
All of the UFC stuff I post gets blocked and demonetized, so I can't show too much of his UFC career.
If I could describe it to people, it's like entering a car crash. You're going into a car crash, the shins are bare, the feet are bare. You can strike with the elbows, the knees. It's a vicious, vicious game.
His brash personality and exciting style would elevate the UFC to mainstream levels not before seen.
2 hits of the gavel, and that was it. It was over.
Conor McGregor's energy and personality are as gripping as some of his mixed martial art holds. The Dublin native's popularity exploded in this country last year with his MMA feats, and that has led him to being the most searched sports personality on Google in Ireland.
That hurts me just looking at it.
One of the fights that made Conor came in a dream match against Jose Aldo.
That was the first time that anybody ever really disrespected Aldo. Because Aldo was the man for so long.
Aldo hadn't been beaten in over a decade.
This is the main event of the evening.
It would be the largest event in UFC history.
Conor McGregor!
I thought Aldo was going to win. Back then, we didn't know much about Conor, I feel like, at that point, you know?
Undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, Jose Aldo.
Here we go! And Jose Aldo's the perfect example. Aldo was so out of composure. Aldo charged at him.
Conor caught Aldo right on the button and dropped him seconds into the fight.
Champion of the world! Oh, unbelievable! Oh my God! Unbelievable! The first punch he threw.
Roy Jones Jr.
Are you ready? Boxing fans, are you ready? Presenting the undefeated super middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
This is what the crowd's been waiting for here, and there's quite a buzz going on. Round number 1 was scheduled for 12. That's Pazienza in a red shorts. It's a left-right combination.
A devastating puncher.
He's never tasted punches that hard before, I can assure you of that.
Who was equally elusive on defense.
To this day, you're the only person in CompuBox history that went a full round without having a single punch scored on.
I gotta tell you, in all the years I'm watching boxing and calling boxing, this is the fastest jab I have ever seen. That includes Muhammad Ali, it includes Sugar Ray Leonard, it includes Ray Robinson.
Nobody has ever gone a complete round without getting a punch scored on.
It's ridiculous.
You tell me he ain't the best pound for pound?
You know, one of the things that makes him special, Ken? He did everything wrong, or a lot of things wrong. Like only one other fight I can think of. Muhammad Ali. He could drop his hands, pull back, but because of his speed, his power, his timing, his reflexes, because of that, he could make wrong right.
Okay, now let's go to the biggest punch you ever delivered. Who was it?
We've got an Art Sawano. He's in Reno, Nevada.
Oh, boy.
Very first round. Boom! There it is.
Holy.
That will finish it. Just forget about it.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, my God.
He had a seizure. See me?
Oh, my.
The living legend, Buakaw Vincent!
The White Lotus Buakaw Porkremik.
Buakaw, a Muay Thai terror who reigned atop the kickboxing world for the better part of 2 decades. A hero to his people. A movie star. An icon who struck fear into the hearts of his opponents. An ageless wonder who racked up an otherworldly 239 wins.
21 years experience, and yes, he's only 29.
And a testament to the power of determination. The White Lotus. Buakaw. Buakaw.
Buakaw
To some, the 10-hour training schedule may seem like a hard lifestyle, but it is all that Buakaw has ever known.
In December of 2002, he won the Toyota Marathon 140-pound tournament at Lumpini Boxing Stadium, beating the highly regarded Kobayashi of Japan in the final.
K1 World Grand Prix, a one-night tournament which pitted the best kickboxers from around the world against one another.
This is truly a great event.
We got some of the biggest names here tonight. There's so many world class.
Buakaw wasn't meant to compete in the Grand Prix. He was an alternate and was called to replace the #1 ranked Thai fighter.
It's this green rookie's first taste of fighting a champion.
Buakaw was pitted against John Wayne Parr in his first match. It was the chance of a lifetime for the 21-year-old kid. No one gave him a shot. He was just lucky to be there.
Buakaw wants to be using that tip kick, front kick off the lead leg. It's digging the balls of the feet into the midsection, a very painful technique. Buakaw, who possesses some of the hardest leg kicks and rib kicks in the world.
It was a close match. Buakaw won narrowly on points and advanced to the next round.
Well, certainly, if Buakaw can make an upset here, this is going to catapult him right up the top of the ladder in the world rankings. It's going to be highly unlikely.
Takayuki was the second best Japanese kickboxer of the time and the tremendous odds favorite. In kickboxing, you can catch your opponent's leg and follow up with one strike, but only one strike. Takayuki deliberately went for a second strike. A dirty move. Buakaw was rightfully upset and responded how any proper legend would, by ragdolling Takayuki over and over.
This is going to be certainly a big test for Buakaw.
Raining knees and leg kicks. A blistering knee to the face sent the crowd into a frenzy. It was a statement win that had advanced Buakaw to the final round. His third fight of the night, this time against the #1 ranked kickboxer from Japan, Masato. Masato was the heavy favorite and expected to stamp out the brash upstart Buakaw. With the entirety of the martial arts world watching, Buakaw seized his moment. The White Lotus attacked from the start. He dominated every moment of the fight, using teeps, knees, and roundhouses.
Those are big, hard shots that Buakaw is throwing to the body, and I know it would fold up most people.
He pushed Masato all over the ring.
Now looking to have slowed a little bit by the onslaught of the big shots that Buakaw's thrown.
Buakaw, it's a master of timing. Great kicks, great power, great speed, as you can see right there.
Well, Buakaw certainly brought the art of Muay Thai to the world with his superior fighting skills.
When the final bell rang, Buakaw erupted into celebration for what was certainly a victory. Right? The judges' bias for their hometown Japanese star called the match a draw. If the match is a draw after 3, they fight an extra round. The judges thought they'd done Masato a favor, but they'd done nothing but condemn him to an extra round of this.
Buakaw just probing. Nice round kick off the rear leg. He switches through.
Buakaw had fought 3 matches and 11 rounds in a single night. And in the end, not even biased judges could keep him from his destiny.
Well, Buakaw's a legend in the sport, of course, but I think the big thing that Buakaw did was he went abroad and fought, so the whole world got to see how good he was.
Buakaw was now the K1 Max champion.
Come to see Rocky Marciano, the sensation of the heavyweight division. It's the big moment for Rocky Marciano and Harry Kid Matthews.
Rocky Marciano, the Brockton blockbuster.
The best pound-for-pound boxer of all time. Who was the best of all time? And down goes Matthews.
It was a brilliant, tactical conclusion to a fight.
Marciano was the hardest puncher I ever seen.
He was a slugger who many said was too short and too light to contend
with real heavyweights. He was the Brockton blockbuster, Rocky Marciano.
Rocky Marciano, the greatest champion in the history of boxing.
Rocky would get a shot at the legend, Joe Louis, arguably the greatest fighter ever.
Joe Louis, the greatest boxer ever lived.
Certainly top 10. No doubt Louis was past his prime at 37. However, Rocky had only been fighting for 2 years, while Louis had been fighting since he was 17. All of the measurables were in Louis's favor. He outweighed Marciano by 26 pounds and had nearly 10 inches of reach advantage. The super fight brought out all the celebrities.
General Douglas MacArthur is here with General John Reed Kilpatrick at left.
And J. Edgar Hoover.
And J. Edgar Hoover.
Boom, perfect timing.
At 184 pounds, Rocky Marciano versus at 210 pounds, the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis.
Louis has 3 inches on Marciano in height and 9 inches in reach.
He had no subtlety. He had a Susie Q. The greatest right hand in the history of boxing.
Marciano's right is his most damaging weapon.
And Joe Louis said, he doesn't really fight by the book, but I got hit by a library tonight.
Marciano's the sluggard type of fighter. His arms are unusually short for a heavyweight, but he's strong and he's powerful.
You can compare him to a street fighter with a huge heart.
He wasn't known as an artist, but a tank.
And he never lost.
Marciano's hard left hook sends Louis sprawling to the canvas.
A warrior who overcame his artistic deficiencies with brutish determination.
Now watch, a left, another left crumples Louis, a blazing right.
Marciano was known like having unbelievable strength in his punches, like he could just.
Rocky Marciano had something that you can't teach people.
Which is just
brutal
brute
power,
strength.
brutal power. He just had the ability to land these bone-crushing shots, and he also was insanely tough. You're dealing with just a different time.
Rocky Marciano would challenge Jersey Joe Walcott for the heavyweight title. Walcott was an all-time warrior, drenched in history and seasoned by fire.
Left hook to the jaw.
In the lead-up, Walcott had proclaimed Marciano a hype job, going as far as to call Marciano a bum.
Walcott said before this fight, if I can't beat this bum, take my name off the record books. I guess he can punch a bit, but he can't box. I've never seen anyone easier to hit.
September 1952, Philadelphia. Experts rate the Walcott fight as one of the most exciting bouts in ring history.
15 rounds for the heavyweight championship of the world, weighing 184 pounds, the challenger, Rocky Marciano. Weighing 196 pounds, the heavyweight champion, Jersey Joe Walcott.
They call Rocky the Brockton blockbuster, and some of the fight experts say he's another Jack Dempsey.
Jersey Joe dominated the early action, smashing Marciano with relentless combinations.
Rocky Marciano was one of the toughest men ever to fight.
Many fighters fold when they're first tested, when they're cut and dropped. Rocky grew tougher.
But he was one tough guy. He was 189 pounds.
It was the first knockdown of Rocky's career.
Marciano is now cut on the floor.
The way he came back and the way he fought people.
First time that Marciano ever had been put on the canvas, took a 5 and came up, and from that time on, they have fought steadily and hard.
But he liked it.
he went beyond courage and he truly liked it. He liked the sport. He liked getting hit and he liked hitting.
Absorbing Walcott's best shots, eating punches that ended other fighters.
The consensus at this point was Rocky's got to knock him out to win. All the officials voted for Walcott this round.
Twisted Walcott's face into pudding.
Relentless attack.
And now we're in round 13. At this stage, Jersey Joe Walcott is leading on all three scorecards, 7 rounds to 5. Rocky Marciano has to knock out Jersey Joe Walcott to win this fight, and his corner has told him so.
And he had a punch from hell called the Suzy Q with his right hand.
One destructive blow changed the course of heavyweight history.
Rocky feigned a left, then delivered a sledgehammer right. The Suzy Q.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and out! New heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Marciano.
Rocky Marciano has come from almost certain defeat to knock out Joe Walcott.
And the new heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Marciano.
When it ended, fight fans had witnessed one of the greatest slugfests in history.
The Brockton Blockbuster was now the heavyweight champion of the world.
I hit him with plenty of good punches, and he took them very good. Rolled with most of them. He's a very smart fighter, a durable fighter, and a very great champion. I only hope that I could be as good as him.
He won 126 fights while losing only once.
Acknowledged by most experts as pound for pound, the greatest who ever lived.
I say I'm the greatest heavyweight of all time, but pound for pound, I still say Sugar Ray Robinson was the greatest of all time.
There was once a boxer who danced in the ring. A boxer called Sugar Ray Robinson.
Robinson was as close to perfect as any boxer in history.
When he won the world middleweight title 5 times.
Greatest fighter, pound for pound, who ever lived.
That man was beautiful. Timing, speed, reflexes, rhythms, body, everything was beautiful.
The guy had over 200 fights.
Blazing speed.
He fought for 25 years.
Uncanny timing. And ferocious punching power.
109 of these by knockout. Sugar Ray Robinson.
His tremendous record includes 44 wins, 42 big wins by way of knockout. Introducing Julian the Hawk Jackson.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Julian Jackson.
Jackson is pointing at the canvas, say, okay, good night.
And Julian Jackson, a young man who often fights as if he's double parked.
1-punch KO power that was just insane. Everyone knew about it. Everyone was terrified of him.
Master Blaster runs Bartertown.
The next fighter, an obvious choice, is the greatest. Muhammad Ali.
When a youngster named Cassius Clay took Sonny Liston's heavyweight title in 1964, boxing received a long overdue shot in the arm. The vocal, controversial Clay left a trail of reporters in his wake for the next 9 years.
He's the ring magician. He's the champion who has been labeled the fastest moving heavyweight in the entire history of 1 century of world heavyweight champion.
Muhammad Ali. The greatest.
That left, Floyd him! Well, Cassius, how do you rate yourself as a fighter?
I wouldn't want to do too much bragging about it, but everybody that watches me fight or everybody that has witnessed one of my bouts, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
More than just a boxer.
Walk like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
He was a cultural icon. A revolutionary.
Muhammad Ali struck us in the middle of America's darkest night, in the heart of its most threatening gathering storm.
And I will say here boldly, now on television, no.
I am the king of the world.
Hold it.
I'm pretty.
Hold it, you're not that pretty.
I'm a bad man.
Wait.
I shook up the world.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
But to live in his time, watching his fights, experiencing the genius of his talent was absolutely extraordinary.
The crowd did not dream when they laid down their money that Ali would retire, Floyd and Sonny.
I'm only bold and cocky before and after fight.
Let me see you close your mouth and just keep it closed.
Well, you know that's impossible.
No, now keep it closed.
You know that's impossible. I'm the greatest. And I'm knocking out all bones. And if you get too small, I'll knock you out.
A heavyweight who moved as quickly, like a lightweight, quicker than a lightweight, used his legs. And then what he did outside the ring transcended what he did inside the ring.
He would be with kings and queens, presidents.
The greatest, the champ, Muhammad Ali.
And then turn around and be with the poorest person on this earth.
Who's the greatest? Who's the prettiest?
He was beautiful. He was the most perfect athlete you ever saw, and those were his own words.
This is the legend of Cassius Clay, the most beautiful fighter in the world today.
A fusillade of punches by Muhammad Ali.
My friends, only once in 1,000 years or so do we get to hear a Mozart, see a Picasso, read a Shakespeare. Ali was one of them.
I am the greatest.
But as Muhammad Ali once said, it's not bragging if you can back it up.
But the story of Muhammad Ali's greatest moment must include the story of his two greatest foes.
Here's the situation. The World Boxing Association has been holding an elimination tournament to try to find a successor to Cassius Clay or Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali had recently been stripped of the title as a result of his stance against the Vietnam War.
Frazier was matched with Buster Mathis on March 4th last week at the new Madison Square Garden in New York for the version of the championship to be recognized by New York, Massachusetts, Illinois, Maine, and later on, Pennsylvania recognized the winner.
While Ali was banished for his stance against Vietnam, Frazier had captured the boxing crown.
It is over. A knockout in the 4th round.
He was now the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Heavyweight champion Joe Frazier has never lost as a pro. 22 of his 25 victories have come by a knockout.
Now the stage is set for Joe to meet undefeated Muhammad Ali in the Battle of the Champions.
But after 3 years, Ali returned from exile.
At last, the fight of the century could be set between Joe Frazier and the now returned Muhammad Ali.
How's a slow, flat-footed, ugly, slow, awkward Joe Frazier gonna whip Muhammad Ali? If he dreamed it, he better wake up and apologize.
I'm going to show you that I'm the real champion, and I'm going to stay here and let you take pictures, give you an interview every day after training, and show you that I'm still the real champion.
But it wasn't enough to fight for the title. Ali had to turn on his longtime friend and call him despicable racial slurs.
First fight, Ali had branded Joe an Uncle Tom, and he knew that hurt.
Ahead of their first fight in 1971, Ali declared that anyone black who supported his opponent was a traitor.
How you going to have 2 champions of the world? He's the ultimate champion. The real champion is back now. The champion of the world. I'll straighten you out.
I beat Sonny Liston twice, and they wasn't convinced.
That's all over.
Let me finish
Now
talking.
you ain't fighting Sonny Liston.
You fight to me.
No, you listen. You listen now. Look, I'm the champ. You ain't. You listen. You the champ. Right on. Now listen. That's all over. Sonny Liston is all over.
Now you ain't the champ.
Hey, you listen for two. Be quiet now. Shut up.
His greatest foe, the stylish and athletic Muhammad Ali. Their first fight at Madison Square Garden in 1971 was dubbed the fight of the century.
2 unbeaten champions battling it out for supremacy.
Heavyweight boxers Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali meet in New York's Madison Square Garden Monday night in what one promoter calls the biggest fight since Cain tangled with Abel.
40 years ago, the entire sports universe was tuned in to Madison Square Garden, New York City.
Just listen to the noise of this crowd. This is well going to be a great evening for boxing fans all over the world. Muhammad Ali in the ring in a beautiful, beautiful red and white robe
The event was known as the Battle of Champions.
Now here comes Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier will be here any minute. He's coming out. Listen to the roar of this crowd. I want to tell you, this is going to be a spectacular evening. The tension and the excitement here is monumental.
Two champions, each with a claim to the title and undefeated records, rose to the top and faced each other that night.
For the first time in heavyweight championship history, we have two undefeated fighters in there. Frazier has won all 26 of his bouts with 23 knockouts, and Muhammad Ali has won all 31 of his bouts with 25 knockouts.
Muhammad Ali. Joe Frazier.
They were both somehow undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champions.
And now we're ready. Hundreds of millions are seeing this bout around the world.
And they were both under 30 at the time.
Frazier will try to bore in and catch his man.
Each fighter delivering crushing blows.
That was a hard left hook that caught Frazier. Muhammad Ali shakes his head and is warned for holding behind the neck. Round two.
As the fight went on,
a good exchange.
Frazier's power began to wear on Ali.
And Muhammad Ali may have been shaken. Frazier has been hit with solid right hands that would have felled an ordinary man. Just spits some blood. He is bleeding inside the mouth. Round three.
Round three.
If I just touch him one time with the left hook, he was gonna know about it.
That was going to be his style. He would take two to land one. He would take three to land one. But he would keep coming forward.
He's hit this man with his Sunday punches. And Joe keeps coming in.
That night, Joe Frazier was about as good a fighter as anyone has ever in the ring.
That's still a good jab. Powerful left hook by Frazier.
The first part of the round was all Muhammad Ali, but Frazier kept pouring in relentless.
Round five.
Round five.
Good 1-2 and a jab. Just smiling at him. That's the way Muhammad Ali used to taunt his opponents.
I don't see how this fight can go the distance.
Well, the crowd has changed. Before they were yelling Ali, Ali. Now they're yelling Joe, Joe. And Joe says, come on out and fight. The bell hasn't sounded. There it is, round eight.
Round eight.
Ali not to get that hand behind the neck.
I can still hear the roar that went up. All could hardly believe this was going to happen. And here it was.
Muhammad Ali holds on, but Joe's not rushing in there either. He's holding too.
Joe Frazier gave such an extraordinary effort.
That one hurt, so did that. Muhammad Ali was rocked. He's holding on desperately. Muhammad Ali was staggered in the 11th and almost went down.
That's the end of round 14, and what another great round it was. All right, this is the final round of the fight, and what a fight it's been.
15 and
Muhammad Ali's going to go boxing again.
Frazier dropped Ali with an iconic left hook.
iconic left hook that drops him and cements the decision.
Champion of the world, Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier. For the first time in his career, Muhammad Ali was beaten.
Frazier won the unanimous decision and was now the true undisputed heavyweight champion.
Muhammad Ali had been defeated, his glory days seemingly behind him. But while Frazier was reigning atop the boxing world and Ali was reclimbing the mountain, a new challenger was rising.
Look at George pulverized.
I thought that with my fist, I could knock any man out.
Before Foreman was selling grills, he was handing out beatdowns.
Foreman's dynamite power in both hands is making him the scourge of the heavyweight division.
As fierce a puncher as has ever existed.
George Foreman is now the #1 contender for the heavyweight championship. And the question is, who's going to stop this Foreman steamroller? It looks like Muhammad Ali and even champion Joe Frazier will have to make room for this Houston Tornado, George Foreman.
A fight was made between Frazier and Foreman. Frazier was heavy favorite, although in hindsight that seems ridiculous.
Conventional wisdom heading into the Frazier fight was that George was a raw sort of rookie without the depth or the background to beat a great fighter like Joe Frazier.
Scoring 34 knockouts. He's 6'4" and has a reach of 78.5 inches. George Foreman, the challenger.
Because Joe Frazier had beaten Muhammad Ali and was undefeated, they didn't see how this young kid could win.
He was undefeated and was coming off the Ali win, and he was a 3.5 to 1 favorite.
I must break you.
Frazier walked down.
And then he's got these hands that are literally like canned hams.
Yep.
And he just...
George was powerful. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he was out there to get me.
The beast, who was George Foreman, who had beaten Joe Frazier, beaten him up.
Foreman blasted Frazier, knocking him down 6 times.
It was absolutely devastating. No one could believe it. And from that point on, George was regarded as invincible.
People dropping death charges on me, man. I couldn't survive.
George Foreman was just a bear of a man at that point. He was sullen and distant and flat out scary.
You've been known as the hardest puncher ever.
Frazier has never taken this kind of punishment.
All I had was this one punch. And if I could hit you with I would hit you with it. I could take you out. If I miss you, you'd win on decision.
It's target practice for George Foreman.
Foreman's power was a weapon unlike any the sport had seen. Foreman annihilated Joe Frazier and took the crown.
The winner is George Foreman.
To be heavyweight champion of the world, as soon as it happens to you, it's like John L. Sullivan, Braddock, all the Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano, Mohammed. It's like they all just pour right into you, and you feel at that moment, you feel, I am the heavyweight champion of the world.
The crushing defeat upset the boxing world. Frazier's reign was over.
You must be bitter over the fact that Joe elected to go with Foreman, thus costing you and Joe a fortune of money.
Big George Foreman. In his career, he's copied the baleful stare of the man who once was his boxing hero, Sonny Liston.
The devastating power of George Foreman is something of a legend.
George Foreman, when George Foreman wasn't selling grills, was the beast of all times.
Hit it, and he is knocked out. George Foreman.
Foreman had been on a tear, knocking out everyone he faced, most inside the first round or two.
In any of his fights, when he scored those big knockouts, he would really brutalize the guy before he got him out of there.
Final knockdown takes place. Look at Roman's eyes, utterly glazed. Foreman with that impassive face. Now, Foreman's being acknowledged as the winner. Roman still cannot get up.
Kenny Norton had split 2 fights with Ali, 24 rounds, and Ali was lucky to win the second one, and he broke Ali's jaw, and Foreman knocked them both out in 2 rounds.
And then turned around and lost to Muhammad Ali in 12 rounds on a split decision back in September. Combination of cheers and catcalls, definitely the favorite here. As far as the crowd is concerned, it's Ken Norton. As far as the odds are concerned, it's George Foreman.
The most menacing heavyweight of all time. It would be George Foreman.
I was going to be the best heavyweight that ever existed.
He is with Ken Norton, and the reason for that, of course, is that he doesn't like George Foreman one bit. Do you really believe, Ali, that he can beat this man?
Yeah, the man went 24 rounds with me, broke my jaw in the first round. I was in shape to second fight.
In those days, he was a bully. The people around him were afraid of him. Foreman had really brutalized the people who trained him, and they were terrified of him.
Given the hell he gave me, as fast as I am, as accurate as I am, I couldn't whoop Ken Norton.
I had beaten the best in Joe Frazier. No doubt about it, I had beaten the best. People had something to say about that. I said, you know what? I'm going to kill one of these fellows. Then they'll shut up.
And it looks like Norton has really been staggered.
Foreman was the guy who destroyed Frazier, destroyed Kenny Norton.
Whipped by Kenny Norton, I knocked Kenny Norton out easily.
Once again, Muhammad Ali found himself in great demand. The WBC and the WBA mandated the fight. The public certainly wanted it, and the media clamored for it.
I think George Foreman will knock Muhammad Ali out, and it'll end Muhammad Ali's career.
The boxers were scared, handlers were scared. The only person that didn't appear scared of Foreman was Ali.
The Foreman that fought Ali, 40-0, 37 knockouts. Unbeatable, the guy's never going to lose.
Everybody was scared, but Muhammad Ali himself.
And Ali is getting the people to chant, Ali Bomaye. That means Ali kill him.
True story. Ali is running in Zaire, in Kinshasa, Zaire, through the alley, and he comes across a mural of him crushing a warplane. It's like a giant crushing a warplane, and he realized at that moment, this is bigger than him. He's affected the entire world. And so he had to beat George Foreman, who no one could beat. And he realized it's not just about him beating Foreman. He had to draw strength from all oppressed peoples all over the world because he was their champion. Now there's more
Ali Bomaye.
Right.
And Ali is getting the people to chant, Ali Bomaye. That means Ali kill him.
Have you fought many guys who were talkers in their ring?
No, I never get a chance to talk much. By the time you get to know a fella, it's all over.
As for the fight itself, discussion centered not on who would win, but on how much punishment Foreman would dish out.
The time may have come to say goodbye to Muhammad Ali.
And now we understand that George Foreman is about to make his way to the ring.
Because very honestly, I don't think he can beat George Foreman.
Cosell was convinced that Ali is washed up.
This guy was the closest thing to a human monster I'd ever seen before. He was certainly the scariest boxer.
Look at this now as they stare. Muhammad Ali beginning to talk to George Foreman. They're really putting the stare on each other.
I looked him in the eye,
to stare him down and said, "Oh, George, you were in school when I was beating Sonny Liston."
Gone in the past 4 years beyond 2 rounds in any fight. By George Foreman.
He knew that the one weakness in this monster, who was thought of as unbeatable, was his stamina.
The first round, all of us yelled out, "Get off the ropes." And he would just say, "Shut up, I know what I'm doing."
Well, I would say that the round was very even, of course, actually.
And Ali totally got into the guy's head, and he didn't even realize it.
Ali had a chance to upset the world one more time.
It was Muhammad Ali's fertile mind that created the rope-a-dope.
Here we go, round number 2 to determine Ali. Get off his stool in between rounds. George Foreman sat down all the way. Ali leans on the rope. With opportunity at batting him.
Starting second or third round, when he went to the ropes, he was calling Foreman all kinds of names. Any name of ugliness you can think of.
Continues to talk. Definitely serious. Tremendous combination.
He fought just like your initial bum, just lay on the rope and take a whipping. This time he did it with character. He said, "Hey, I'm going to weather this storm."
The rope-a-dope was something that was invented by Muhammad Ali that night.
I must say, I don't understand those tactics, Joe, of staying on the ropes and letting him hit.
It just shows you the power of intellect and intelligence and how that can compete against anything.
And believe me, I was a big, powerful giant in the ring with Muhammad. I mean, a knockout artist. He stood up to me.
Foreman setting him up against the rope. Look at him whispering in the ear of Foreman.
George Foreman, so young, so strong.
Not supposed to do, leaning up against the ropes. 4 punches downstairs on Ali.
So fearless.
I had him beat. I really did. And really thought I had him beat up in the body, had him tired.
Continues to talk, continues.
Against George Foreman, he does away with his opponents, one after another, in less than 3 rounds.
George not going that type of distance a long time. He was treading in water, never been in before.
This is the furthest that George Foreman has gone in a fight since 1972. Misses the right hand. Ali is definitely confusing him.
Missing the shots that he missed, it drained him.
Look at Foreman's face. He does look tired.
Nobody knew the strength of Muhammad Ali. He was manhandling him, just like Archie said, grabbing him, and he emptied the guy's tank.
I was afraid he was going to get killed by a George Foreman that many of our young viewers don't know.
I thought he was hurt. I thought his body was hurt. And he came back. He hit Foreman with everything, and he winked at me.
Yes, there's no doubt about it. He winked right over here to this corner.
You know, the guy really was the people's choice. And he was the people's choice because he loved them.
Yes, I'd hate to predict any fight, but my goodness, those people who said Foreman would win in a flash have certainly been proved wrong.
Then about the 7th round, he asked me, "That all you got, George?" That was like a nightmare.
I couldn't believe it. I just knew I was going to knock him out in a few seconds. And after 8 rounds, I am laying on the canvas, listening to a referee. I was embarrassed.
Who's the greatest? I'm the greatest of all time. Ali has done it. The great man has done it.
Against all odds, Ali had upset the world again.
I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sonny Liston. I told you today, I'm still the greatest of all time.
Muhammad Ali recaptured his stolen title and was now the heavyweight champion of the world. He was already an icon, now mobbed by fans and followed by the press wherever he went. He was a living legend. the people's champ.
Blood on the shoulder?
Yeah.
A name synonymous with greatness, etched into the annals of sports history.
Nobody brings it home like Joe Vincent. Nobody. Make it so.